Hello, welcome to the second module, Professional Communication. In this module, we're going to focus on how to write a professional email. But the principles that you'll learn in this module will apply to any kind of written or oral context. An email is just a convenient way to start thinking about the way that you communicate professionally. So what is professional communication? Professional communication is first a purpose-driven type of communication. So think back to your writing courses and your communication courses like public speaking. And think about that idea of purpose that you get when you sit down to write or give a speech. This transfers really, really nicely to the business world. The first thing you need to know as you sit down to write an email or as you converse with a colleague is what is it that you want to achieve? What is your purpose in doing this communication? That will really drive the way that you formulate your communication, and it should really be the thing that you keep focusing on. Is there information you need to get? Is there information you need to convey? Is there a task that you're hoping people will do? Is there an idea you want people to adopt? What is it that you're trying to achieve? One thing to keep in mind as a professional communicator is that this is really a major key to how people in your workplace perceive you. As you go into writing or talking or giving a formal presentation, whatever it is, really keep in mind that this is what drives the image that you present in your work life, and it's what drives the way that people think in terms of things like how will they decide whether you're a good person to be part of a project? How will they decide who the best people are to ask to work on different kinds of tasks? If people see you as being someone who's very good at communicating in a professional way, if they see you being someone who presents a good public face or a good colleague-facing face, it is very likely to open doors for you in your professional life. And on that note, this really is an in-demand workplace skill. You really need to be able to clearly communicate what you need and do it in a way that conveys respect for other people in the workplace. So part of what you'll do as you think about the way you're communicating is you'll think about audience. Who is it that you're communicating with? That will determine the level of formality. There will be times when you need to be very, very formal in your communications. This is especially true of people that you don't know well, or situations where you're really presenting a view of yourself to outside, either clients, people in other parts of your organization, things like that. At the same time, if you're communicating with people who you work with on a regular basis, you want to adjust your level of formality. That doesn't mean that you're dropping down to a level of informality where you're talking to someone the way you might if you're hanging out over pizzas or something, but it means that you can definitely use your different opportunities for communication to maintain solid collegial relationships. So that'll be one thing you think about as you're thinking about the way that you greet people in your email, the way that you generally modulate the tone of your mail, and the way that you build it. Your audience will also determine things like your reader's background knowledge. Are you talking to somebody else who's working on the same kind of project as you are, people who really know where you're at? In that case, you probably don't need to build as much background. You probably don't need to say as many details, and you can get right to the point of what you're trying to do. If your reader doesn't know you or doesn't know the situation that you're writing in, you need to make sure that you're providing them with enough information that they feel like they really understand all of the facts and contexts of what's going on. Finally, you'll think about how your reader might respond to your message. Are you asking them to do something that they're really comfortable with, or to think something, or to give you information that they're really comfortable with giving you? Are you asking them to make a change in how they conduct business, or to make an exception in some way? Are you introducing something new to them? Are you, and this is not outside the realm of possibility in your work life, are you giving them a message that they're not going to receive well? Is there feedback? Are you telling them that something won't be possible under the terms of a policy? Are you asking them to do something that they have actually not wanted to do? So as you think about that context of your audience, you'll know more how to approach them. Again, going back to purpose, I said in a couple slides ago that business communication is really purpose-driven. So you need to know what your goal is. You need to know what you need from your reader. And once you know that, you can use that understanding to craft your subject line and also to cut to the chase, really get to the point as quickly as you can for your reader. What do you want? What do you need from them? So as you build an email, you should be aware of some parts of the email, and this is really the task-specific part for this training. So parts of an email generally include a subject line. That subject line needs to let your reader know what the message is about. What's your purpose? What do you need? What's your topic? And so it should be a very concise overview of where you're going. It needs a greeting. The greeting it may be hi in a less formal context, or hello. In a more formal context, it may be dear Mr., dear Ms., and that's MS dot. Most of the time in the work world, unless somebody has said very specifically that they want to be referred to either as MISS or MRS, as those are both indicators of marital status, so it's usually MS dot. There may be a doctor if you were working with someone with a PhD or a medical degree. So think about the level of formality in your audience as you do your greeting. You may use some kind of brief thing to ease your way into your message, especially if you have a close working relationship with someone. So for example, if you're emailing somebody who you regularly see and speak with, you might begin something like, I hope your day's going well. If you're emailing somebody who you don't know or who you have a more formal relationship with, something like, I hope your day is going well, will not be appropriate. So again, understanding your audience and your relationship with your audience is really key here. You'll then move on to your message body. The message body should clearly state your purpose. You can give background information if you need to. Avoid difficult constructions. Try to use very simple language, very direct language in your business communications. This may feel different to you than college writing. It's very common for students to work on padding their work or trying to sound more educated by using bigger words or more complex constructions. Generally in business writing, it's really important to keep your message very uncluttered and direct. Your closing line then will be something that indicates to your reader that you're done. It might be thank you, best wishes, sincerely, and then use your name. All right, that's really the end of this video. You've got some readings listed. Go ahead and do those before you start trying to do the final assessment. I hope this has been helpful.